So, yeah, that he put that up, and then next minute the news channels have got the videos and it's gone viral on Channel 9, Channel 7 and Channel 10, if that's a thing, and it was all over the radio. And then they hit up Nakia, who was riding the horse, and they were like, we'd love to get you guys on Sunrise. So me and Nakia were on Sunrise talking about this horse surfing that we were doing, and they called us, what did they call us? The horse surfers or something like that, like our title. So, yeah, it just went off. And then I think that was the moment where we started to get a lot of traction online and a lot of people talking about, horse surfing, and we were represented as the horse surfers.
Welcome to Built to Rise. My name's Amber.
And I'm Janaea.
And we are so excited for today's episode. We have someone who inspires both Janaea and I, and we even are doing business together. We want to welcome the amazing, the beautiful Kristin Donohue.
Oh my gosh, you guys. What an introduction.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you here today, Kristin. Do you want to start with just introducing yourself?
Yeah, okay. Well, so I guess a lot of people don't really know me but they might have heard of my brand Cowgirl Surf Club.
Yeah.
It's a brand that it's wild that it hasn't even been around a year. So in August it'll be 1 year since the brand has started.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. And it's just elevated from just a kind of like a little idea that I had. Well, my kind of background is I'm a filmer and a photographer, and I've been in that industry for well over 10 years, and I'm showing my age now. But anyway, so it kind of stemmed from a moment where I was like, I don't really get to do I don't be creative for myself much anymore. So it was an outlet for me to be like, okay, what can I do for me and start to love my filming and photography again. Yeah, it's been a journey, and it's something that I'm stoked that it's come to what it is. But yeah, like I said, it was something that I started with my friends, and we came up with I came up with some shoots. So I'm like, you know what, I want to bring a bit of the country to the coast. So I was just like, you know what, like let's do some horse on the beach. And I thought, why don't I bring the element of motorcycles into that? Because another thing about me is I used to race motocross, and I used to race at a pretty high level all around Australia. So it was something that I was like, you know what, the shot that I have in mind is I really want to get a horse going down the beach with like cantering with a motorbike wheeling next to it. Yeah. So I hit up two of my friends, Maggie and Caitlin, and they're like, yeah, let's do it. So one afternoon we went down the beach and just did this shoot and put it up on social media, and then from then that kicked off, and then I was like, oh, that was fun, let's do something else. So it's just been a continuous thing of just doing out of the ordinary or different kind of shoots. And then I thought, I saw the name Cowgirl Surf Club, and I was like, oh, that's fitting. Maybe I'll just change my Instagram to that and, start just putting my fun shoots to an Instagram page, and then it started to grow from there.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's so epic.
Yeah.
I love the horse surfing, like on the beach. Can you like really speak into that and tell us about that? Because that's so epic, and I know that that's one of the ones that went viral for you guys, and media really took off on it, and it was something that I think, has that actually been done in the country? Were you like the first person to do that?
No.
How did that idea come from?
It's wild that one of the shoots that I had seen it before. Like it's not that we were the first people to do it.
Yeah.
But it had been seen to be done before, and it was one afternoon we were down at Cabarita, and I was with my friend Nakia and another friend, and we were like, you know what, like it'd be really cool to try and do this, surf behind the horse thing. And we were like, just mucking around. We went down the beach. Sunset was really nice, perfect day. We were on the inside where the creek bit is in Cabarita, and we got some really nice shots of the horses, swimming in the creek and all the rest of it. And then we were like, we've got the surfboard here. Let's like just see if it works. And we were just having a field day. Like we were just like, we weren't even doing it for serious. We were just like got on the board and we were like, we'll see if it actually works to start with. I'll have to send you through some of the B-roll of how it didn't go well so many times because it was like, it was high tide, but there was bank. So we were trying to get the perfect spot. So it was many times of I had to go, I crashed, and it was just a bit of a mess. But it was really fun, and it's something that did take off because there was a guy on the bank who, I don't know, he's like a Instagrammer that puts up random things about the surf reports and kind of takes takes the piss a little bit. I'm gonna say it, but so yeah, that he put that up, and then next minute the news channels have got the videos, and it's gone viral on Channel 9, Channel 7, and Channel 10. If that's a thing, and it was all over the radio. And then they hit up Nakia, who was riding the horse, and they were like, "We'd love to get you guys on Sunrise." So me and Nakia were on Sunrise talking about this horse surfing that we were doing, and they called us, what did they call us? The horse surfers or something like that, like our title. So yeah, it just went off. And then I think that was the moment where we started to get a lot of traction online and a lot of people talking about, horse surfing, and we were represented as the horse surfers. So we've kind of run with that, and we've done it a couple of times now, and we've got a few shoots coming up we're just going to keep going and seeing, okay, what can we do next? So the next, we've got some pretty epic shoots lined up which still is getting towed behind horses in some aspects. But yeah,
that's epic. And like just to see how your brand's growing, like Janaea and I were wearing your jumpers. These like you started with film, and now you're creating like merch, right? People like. Just to give you guys a bit of background, Kristin comes to our events, Bull Throttle, and you do the videography there, you sponsor our events, and you have your tent there. And the amount of people who just, like, they see this and they're like, I want to be a part of this brand. So you haven't just really created a, how would you say it? Like, it's more of a movement that you're really creating.
Community.
So I'm guessing it didn't start that way, because we had conversations about you. You're like, I just like the editing part. But like, for how fast and how big it's growing now, like, how are you personally handling that? Like, you're probably getting a lot of people like really wanting to work with you. People are demanding the merch.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me and from the brand is, it's really made me get out of my comfort zone, because I'm probably like an introvert extrovert, I can turn it on, but really I'm like, I just like to be behind the camera, don't put me in front of the camera, and, I can visually see how I want to see things. But this brand has really made me step out of my comfort zone in so many ways, because it's, I play so many roles now, which I never thought that, I would. Like, so I'm a filmer for the brand. I organise, all the kind of, the socials, and now I'm, running retreats and events and things that I would not even know, and, working with you guys at the rodeos and then merch. Like, I am that person organising it all, and I never thought that I would be playing this role, especially if you asked me a year ago that I would be doing all this. And so, it has made me step out of my comfort zone, and it's made me realise, like, I probably have to be, so many different faces, and it's made me get a little bit more confident in being around different people in different situations, and different situations are now arising, and problems I never had to deal with before, because it's not just, for me, I'm a filmer and I've only ever dealt with clients before. So it's like one business, one brand, their idea, we go shoot it. Now, I'm not only, doing my own photo shoots, I have to, work with the guys with the clothing, I have to do the events, and then I'm working out, okay, who's going to work at the events, who's going to, like, I'm now becoming like a management role, and people are like sitting underneath me and looking up to me going, okay, what's next? And I'm like, I've never been in this position before in my life. So it's like, I really am like trying to not fake it till I make it, but it's really like I have to be on, and have to switch on and be that person, which I've never been before. So that's been a bit of a big thing as well.
I guess you've had to wear many hats, hey?
Yeah.
Like, you've had to take on, like more and things that I guess you probably weren't quite prepared for, but you were thrown into that and you dealt with it in the best way you possibly can. And I think, one of the things that we talk about a lot on our podcast is rising up through those challenges. And, you've sort of spoken into a little bit about the confidence. So is that one of the big things that you've had to, I guess, overcome and rise up from is navigating those how your brand's like evolved so much and so quickly, and how you've, I guess, been thrown those challenges. Is that one of the bigger things for you?
100%. I think more so I've learnt to back myself a lot more and and not seeking reassurance from, I guess, other people or other things. I think that's been the biggest thing. And it's like back yourself and backing yourself in decisions in, everything. And it's like where I see the brand going, it's from everything, from where I see the brand going. And I think going back from that, even when the brand started, I was really, I guess, not confident enough in myself, or I just lacked that little bit of confidence where I was like, it's just something that I'm just doing on the side. And, and I had people like, no, I think, Amber, you're one person that rang me and goes, keep doing it, girl. Like, you're doing a good thing. Keep doing you. Yeah. And I think you're one of the people that I was like, oh, okay. Like, there's that reassurance. But it was, I guess, people were saying it to me, but it's one thing for people to say it to you, but it's one thing to believe it in yourself.
Yes.
And I think that was the most important thing that I've learned and still learning to this day. And that's just backing yourself and being more confident and being like, yeah, this is something, and I do see this going somewhere. And yeah, I can do that. And, I think that's the number one thing that I've learnt with this brand and this movement, where it's going.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're onto such an amazing thing, Kristin. And I even look back at like when we first met, which was our idea about, bucking the ball on the beach and how that relationship started. Like that was such an epic project, and, we pulled it off. And wow, like even looking back to then, and now, we're going to be launching your Cowgirl Surf Club Beach Club. And I feel like there's just so many things, like so many different projects that have come up just in the last year since we met. And I love watching that journey unfold for you and go, wow, there's just always something different going on, which I think is really exciting. And I think that's what keeps your audience and keeps your followers, because they're like, well, what's Kristin up to now? Like, she's bucking balls on the beach. She's like surfing with horses and doing all this epic stuff. But I think the really important thing is, and I know that there's this trend around countries become cool again, right? But I think merging those two and collaborating the two worlds of country and the coast has really been what's like highlighted, and that's what the message is in your brand, right?
I think so. I think like there's one thing that, it's wild. Like I think one of the crazy ideas I did come up with this one time was I met Janaea, and I loved what you were doing, and me and my crazy ideas, I thought, so random. What are your thoughts on maybe doing a bull ride on the beach? So that was like one of the crazy ideas, and then it's just evolved, we did that, and that was just something that's, it's not only those conversations, but I've had many of those instances like, oh, why don't we do this? And it's crazy how many people are just like, yeah, let's do it. Wild. But it's not even that. It's from doing those shoots and doing those out-of-the-box things, I think also my vision and how I kind of even do life is I like doing fun things, and I love having a good group around me and a good solid friend group. And then I thought, like how, people were seeing what I was doing, and my friends are like, how do we be a part of this? And I was like, you know what? Like I want to hold a party. I want to hold something where people can come and experience what we're doing. And that's where I held a brand launch. It was November last year, first week in November last year. It was a brand launch, and I called it, a retreat, because that's what it was. That's all that came to mind. I was like, it's like a Western retreat. And then I opened it up to, the everyday person to come and be a part of this, and it sold out within like 3 weeks. And I was like, whoa, okay, people are like into this. So then I was like, okay, well, I did that first one, and it was great. It was the best time. We did 2 days of just country western things, and we held workshops, and it was things that girls probably don't do usually. And, so one of the workshops is like, I'll run you through the workshops. So like cowboy hat styling. When do you ever style your cowboy hat? We held a photo shoot, and all the girls got dressed up. We brought a brand came on board, and they all like got to wear their clothing, and they all got to do get styled and do a photo session for themselves. We did line dancing. we had some good food, good like-minded girls, and then we did like a horsemanship and whip cracking and roping. And then I think, when do you ever get the opportunity, if you're someone that doesn't experience the Western way or the country world, like, you know, when do you ever get to learn how to crack a whip? Like, so it was just something that was really like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And then people were like, well, when's the next one? When's the next one? So then I opened it up again. And from that, from just seeing that and people being like, I just want to be involved, that's where I've kind of moved the brand into opening up to more events and more of a community, like opening the community to be more involved. And that's where I think I've started to lean Cowgirl Surf Club, because it's a group of like-minded people that want to be involved in fun things and getting them out of their comfort zone to do things they wouldn't usually do. So
yeah, absolutely.
I think that's where it's kind of warped into. I think I went off track a little bit. I don't know what the question was.
No, that's awesome.
But yeah.
I'm like, you know, it's been so cool to watch you and your brand evolve and seeing all the opportunities that have opened up to you, you know, like the collaborations with our projects, but then the collaborations with, you know, just recently the
Saddle and Sip with Zephyr.
Yep. That looks so cool.
Yeah.
But I would love for you to speak into the opportunity that you had to do the bar crawl or the pub crawl when you went up to the Northern Territory. That looks so friggin' cool. Like, how cool is it that you started off just simply filming, you know, you guys riding surfboards with horses pulling it, and then to be hanging out with some famous guy. I'm not quite sure who he is.
Travis Fimmel.
Yeah. People are going to be like, how can you not know who he is? I don't have a TV, guys.
Yeah, it's wild. It's crazy because, you know, just from, I guess that came from the horse surfing video, and I think us doing that sort of content and it's getting eyes on people that I didn't, like, I just put it out there on the internet. I don't know who's viewing it, you know, like I just see, oh yeah, cool. But like when you get a phone call from Travis Fimmel asking you to go do a pub crawl, you're like, oh, okay, this is traction. These are people seeing my stuff, you know? And so, yeah, we went up to Darwin. We did Traveller sponsoring a helicopter pub crawl up there.
Yeah.
And we went to a couple of bars. They just, you know, in the helicopter and you do a like crawl with all the helis and then
so cool.
all the rest of it. And then we spent some time at Matt Wright's place at the Top End Safari. And this is just another element to it too. It was like, you know, I was talking to Matt Wright and he, like, I had my hat on and he goes, Cowgirl Surf Club. I've seen you girls. You girls are doing the surf behind the horse and a lot of the, you know, a bit of the retreats. And I said, yeah. And it was like at that moment where I was like, this is wild. Like someone that is such a big figure knows the brand. Like just mind blowing. And to think that it hasn't even been August, it'll be 1 year since this name has come around. So it's crazy how it's just evolved so quick.
Are we going to be celebrating that?
Yeah.
What are we doing for a 1 year party? Like, are we celebrating? That's huge.
Yeah.
That is a good question, guys.
You're like, please don't hit me with anything else right now.
Maybe we'll postpone it to a couple of months because we all have a busy August.
So much going on. Yeah. And like for us, you know, meeting you and being able to, you know, you jumping on board with J&J Rodeo when it kicked off in Byron Bay and it just went absolutely nuts. You know, I think that collaboration was epic as well. Having the line dancing in the main arena, which, you know, was something new to rodeo as well. And it's, you know, again, merging the coastal and the country. And I think that's like, I think your brand fits so well within our industries as well. So it's something we're really proud of and we love working with you, Kristin.
Yeah, no, it was, I think that's when I spoke to her and I felt like that connection straight away. And I was like, you know what, these guys, it's so weird. Like, I didn't know, like I said, asked me a year ago if I was doing rodeos, I would be like, what? Like, I've been to rodeos, but will I be a part of it? What? Like, you know, so, and I think the big, you know, another random thing, Janae was like, we'd love to, you know, come put your merch tent up. And I hey, what do you think about doing line dancing in the arena? Can we do that? And Janae's like, yeah, we can do anything. You asked Janae something and she's like, yeah, we could do that. Like,
Absolutely.
Full of smart ideas.
Oh my God, like she's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I come up with the ideas. Janae's like, yep, I can make that work.
Yeah.
She's the one that makes it all come together.
You're the executioner.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the rise up, you know.
Yeah.
That's the, you know, you can have an idea, but then it's one thing to think of it and it's another thing to do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like for us, it's always paid off, hasn't it? It's like
Yeah.
always been a thing. It's like and I'm so excited to see where this beach club goes as well, because I think
Yeah.
that's gonna go off.
Yeah,
like,
I think, like, you know, we had this discussion about, you know, we started from Byron Bay where we brought the line dancing into the rodeos, and I think that was just an element that where I wanted Cowgirl Surf Club to be, okay, we are, you know, a community, and I want people to be involved and do something, not just a brand, you know, I want everyone to be a part of it. So it was like, when do you get to go to the rodeo and go into the middle of the arena? Most people are like, wow, that's really cool. We're in the arena for one, but then they're doing something. They're being a part of something, so it becomes more of an event to them, you know, and then they're being involved. And then, so I think with the beach club, I think, like, it's just the vision that we kind of had is like, okay, how can we grow and how can we make things, you know, evolve into something else? And I think, you know, this weekend in Casino, it'll be like the launch of the beach club with J&J Rodeo, and we have, you know, margaritas, and we've got a margarita combi coming, and we're gonna
so cool.
we've got so we'll be selling margaritas, and we've got the mechanical bull, and we've got line dancing going continuously, and then we've got hat branding all in the beach club. So it's kind of like, it's like a little thing going on outside of the actual event. So it's like the, you know, it's not just you come to a rodeo. It's like, oh, this is an actual something that we can take home, like get your cowboy hat branded. If you never line danced before, you're being a part of line dancing. You're taking away a new line dancing, you know, dance, or, you know, even like a margarita. When do you ever get a margarita at a rodeo? So it's just like,
it's the whole experience.
yeah,
It's the whole experience.
and also getting dressed up, like,
Yeah.
like, you know, like we were saying before, country is becoming cool again. And it's, you know, like even in the fashion world, the music world, everything, it is such a trend at the moment. And it's like, when do we get the opportunity to wear those cowboy boots that, you know, cost us like $400 or $500?
Absolutely.
For the rodeo.
When do we get to wear that hat, you know, that we just spent like $400 on?
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to go down to the Burley pub and wear the cowboy boots and hat. I mean, I'm not stopping anyone from doing that, but it's like, it's really cool. It's like dressing up and being a part of it. And I think that's really important as well. And it's just bringing a whole nother level to rodeo. And it's not just a cliche, just wear your flannel and just your cheap Temu hat. You know, it's really stepping up. And I think I'm all for that movement as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always evolving, being innovative, creating something different, something outside the box. I guess to wrap it up, what would be something that we would ask Kristin that we could take away, like that our listeners can take away from this, you know, something that is, you know, a challenge that you've risen up from, something that you implement into your daily life?
Yeah, some advice.
Advice.
I really think, going back to before, the one thing that I really is backing yourself. You know, it's easy for me to sit here and say, back yourself, but it's actually putting in the time and the effort to do that, because there are people that, you know, stay in the same job, it's like with everything, staying in the same job and staying in the relationship because they don't think that they're going to be good enough or they don't think that they can do that. And it's honestly like, if you don't change anything, you're choosing it. So it's honestly like, you choose that relationship because, you know, or that job, whatever. And if you don't change that, like, you choose it. And if you want to be, you know, whatever you want to be, back yourself and implement. And if you think, that's too far, implement little strategies each day to build the confidence or try and get to that path. You know, it's not straight to that path. There's always little bits that you have to work on, whether it be, I don't know, anything. But with me, with my work, it's like being confident, and I think that's to be the number one thing is, you know, getting rid of the noise, getting rid of what people think and what you should do, and really be like, no, does that sit with me? Yeah. And does that align with me? And then first off, before you even ask anybody, And then if that sits well with you, then you move on. And I think you always ask yourself the same questions every day. Always question yourself and always, question and sit with yourself and don't always listen to what everyone thinks you should do or want you to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I love that advice. I think that's something that all three of us can sit here and confidently say that we embody, and I really, really loved how you worded that so perfectly. It's like what you don't change, you choose.
What you don't change, you choose.
That's that's key, hey?
Yeah.
That's some gold information right there.
Yeah.
We've loved having you on, Kristin.
Thank you for having me.
It's an amazing story. Our listeners are going to be absolutely loving it. So make sure that you guys tune in to Built to Rise podcast on Instagram and Spotify, and give us some feedback.
Yeah, let us know what you loved about the podcast, what you loved about our amazing guest, and just the wisdom and celebrating you so much, babe, for what you've created.
Thank you.
We're super proud, and we're so. We're proud. Yeah, we're proud.
Wow.
Oh, you guys are the best.
And we can't wait to see what the next year brings. And if you guys, follow Cowgirl Surf Club, and I'm sure Kristin, she'll have her tag in there somewhere. Go follow her as well.
See what next wild project she's got up her sleeve.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Woo!